Hey, welcome back to another edition of Field Talk Fridays, where we answer your agronomy related questions. I'm Bernal Sabrin, and the question of the week this week came from a grower that's participating in our AgWeather network this year. He's new to the network. We installed a couple of stations on his fields, and he was looking at the data, particularly at wind speed, because he wanted to make sure that conditions were right for applying herbicides, worried about drift. And one thing that he noticed was that the Manitoba AgWeather stations only a few miles away were recording significantly higher wind temperatures. So he called me up and he asked me why that was. And you can see one of these stations in the background here, and probably what you might notice is the wind anemometer is way up there in the air. So these stations, the wind recordings are all done at 10 meters above ground level. That is the industry standard for weather networks that are collecting data for multiple use, everything from forecasting to data collection, etc., etc., etc. Now, what is the significance of that for a farmer that's worried about drifting? Well, we're worried about the conditions down here at 1 to 2 meters above ground level, not 10 meters above ground level. So it's been well documented that wind speeds, when you take the 10-meter wind speed, you can probably knock off at least 30% of that to get more realistic ground level numbers. I think the official number is 0.67. So whatever your wind speeds are up there, they're generally 33% less down here. So for this grower, that meant a lot, because the wind speeds that day were something like 18 to 20 kilometers per hour, which are on the upper threshold for spraying, where you would really start to worry about drift, especially when you've got sensitive crops neighboring your fields. But he was able to have a lot more comfort in the numbers spraying at ground level, because the numbers reflected by our weather stations were more representative of what's happening closer to the ground in terms of risk of drift, etc., etc. So I'm standing in a field now next to one of our weather stations in our AgWeather network, and you can see that the wind anemometer is about my height. I'm 6 feet tall, so it's 1.5 meters to 2 meters off the ground, giving us much better, more realistic numbers as to what the wind is doing and what the spray conditions are and what the potential for drift is in a farm application, or when we're looking at spraying herbicides and trying to hit the target, not the neighbor's field, if that's sensitive crops or trees or garden, whatever. So this particular station is from Crop Intelligence. We've partnered with them this year, and they're known for their water-driven yield potential, for their algorithms for looking at how much water is in the soil profile, how the crop uses the water, and how that translates in the yield. So giving us better numbers that helps us, again, make better decisions in the field. So we've got 20 of these soil probes in our network this year. They go down to about 4 feet. And they're taking measurements all the time, continuously at different depths, so we can learn better. We're in the floodplain, heavy clay soils. What is our recharge? What can we expect? How much moisture do we have stored in the ground? So we can better predict what our yield potential is and make better decisions when it comes to either adding more fertilizer, fine-tuning our fertility program, but also fungicides, etc., etc. This is all stuff that belongs in our AgWeather network. We've got close to 28 weather collection devices this year in the network, so we've expanded significantly from last year, and we're looking to fill some gaps still. So if you're in the Red River Valley and you're interested in joining our weather network, reach out. If you want to learn more about our weather network, check out our website. Follow a link in the description below. Check us out on the rest of our content on our socials. Chances are, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you know somebody else that might benefit from this video. Please do us a favor, forward the video along to other people that you think might be interested, to help promote the channel and help us get more great content out to you. Again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you in the next video.